Okay, well, I'll go. Yeah. Can we go back to your vagina?
Yeah. It always comes back every time.
All about the vagina.
It is. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and this person asked a devil's advocate question, and they're not naive, they're an enlightened person, and they said, okay, look, at the time when a penis is entering Buck, does that make Buck a woman? And I was like, well, no, but we should ask Buck.
That is such a weird question.
I know.
Interesting.
It's a very...
At that moment.
At that moment.
At that specific, like, just... Okay, so is it the same for when a penis goes in an asshole?
That's what I would love to counter with.
I mean, what does it mean to be
an asshole?
Okay, I'm going to just get, what does it mean to be a woman? What does it mean to be a man? It's all in your head.
Yeah.
So yeah, if that penis went in my vagina, and at that moment, my head said, ooh, I feel like a woman, then yeah, I'm a woman. But it's not going to happen.
Will I feel like a woman?
I don't, it doesn't pertain to me. I never feel, I can't tell you, even as a woman, when I was before, I could tell you that I didn't feel like a woman. I guess whatever that means, right? Again, it's your own perception of however you feel like a woman. For myself, being a man, for me, is feeling more in charge and more, and not to say that women aren't that way, but for me, that's how I have always felt masculinity was for me, to sort of be in my own body and be there, present, because I wasn't that way whenever I was being kind of perceived as female. I wasn't there.
And you said it was a transition. I believe I was seeing an interview where you're saying it was really a transition to have sex with men.
Oh my God, I didn't really have sex with men prior to my change, except for prostitution stuff. But mostly I just gave them blowjobs, and with a couple of boyfriend, but it was always really fucked up and drunk. I never was sober and dealing with that. It was always a nightmare for me. Like, what? You want to put that thing inside? Now I'm a hungry pig. Sure, dude.
But the general public doesn't understand that there's still that misconception. Female, it's a receptacle.
Yes.
You're passive.
Bottom top.
So then gay men, if you're
top.
taking up the ass, you're passive, you're femme, you're girly, like...
And I've completely put all those motherfuckers to shame because I get fucked in all my movies, okay? And I am not a bottom. I am clearly a top. And so I just tell people, no, I'm in charge. Okay, you're fucking me. I'm letting you fuck me. You're servicing me.
You can have
That's
so
what it's
many
taught.
women. If women would watch you.
Yes, it's like, you know what? You don't have to feel, unless you want to feel vulnerable or passive or whatever the situation is while you're getting fucked, go for it. But if you're a woman who really wants to be in charge of getting fucked, you can be totally in charge of getting fucked. There's no, believe me, that guy will do whatever you want.
I so want to use that term, you're now servicing me.
I think we need to use that now. And so I think that also gets to making the difference in definitions between a bottom and a top and a submissive and a dominant.
Yes.
And so if you can address that.
The difference between a bottom and a top and a submissive. For me, a bottom and a top is a more sexual thing, and a submissive and a dominant is a more lifestyle thing. Does that make sense? So submissive and dominance is people who sort of live in an environment where, for myself, I do live that environment 24/7, and so like my wife is my submissive, and we have a dynamic where I don't want to say I'm in charge, but it's just like, it's just the way it's sort of like I am in charge in a lot of ways, with not just with not just like saying I'm going to drive the car, but maybe sexually, or the dynamic there is I'm more in control of the situation, and she's given herself over to trust that I'm going to be capable of handling that.
How did you guys meet?
Well, we met on the internet.
I love that.
We met on the internet 10 years ago, okay? And I was married prior to that to a professional dominatrix, and I had a really bad breakup, and I just played with men for a long time after that. I was kind of over the woman thing, and I didn't want a relationship. So what I did is I got tired of playing with guys, and I went on this site for transsexual men 10 years ago, looking for women, and women looking for transsexual men. It was a Yahoo group. And literally, this is such a crazy story. The same day I went on, I'd never been on a dating site in my life, and the same day she went on, she'd never been on a dating site in her life. Literally, within 1 hour of us both posting our profiles, we met each other. Within 1 hour. And it was like, the next hour we were on the phone with each other for 8 hours, and then the next week, this is so lesbian, I can't believe I'm telling you this. No disrespect to my lesbian friends. It's a joke. Joke. Next thing you know, I had the U-Haul. Just kidding.
Yeah.
And then I flew to New Orleans where she lived, and I spent 10 days with her. And I went back to my place, and I sold my house and moved to New Orleans, and we've been together ever since. And we got married 1 year after that. Seriously, I believe there is there's a such thing as a soulmate.
I hope so.
After meeting her, I 100% tell you
Yeah.
that there is. And so I don't know if you know, just recently I started Buck Angel Dating.
That's where I wanted
Yes.
to go to.
And I've been wanting to start Buck Angel Dating for a long time. Not just Buck Angel Dating, but FDM Dating or whatever it was going to be. But it just wasn't possible because I didn't have the tools to do it, and I've been focusing on so many other things, and I wanted to find the right. I do it with a company called the Dating Factory, and they're sort of the technical part of it. And I wanted to find a company that was going to respect me. This is not a pornographic website. It's not about me making $1 million. It's not about. It is really community. I want to make a community, and so I needed to find the ones that were going to respect that queer, all the different facets of sexuality and gender and all
they're
of
not
that.
going to at first say, oh yeah, that's fine, and then 2 months later go, yeah,
Oh,
we've
whip it
decided-
right out from underneath them.
Yeah.
No, believe me, they're like,
There are spaces out there that at first say all of this is
Absolutely.
okay until you actually do it, and then
I will whip it right. They know that. Anyways,
Pull it right.
I did my research, so I wouldn't put my name on something if I felt like that. Believe me, many people want to work with me, and I will not put my name on things because I'm not going to lie to you. It is business for me. I am a businessman. It's how I make my living and go places. But it isn't specifically about me making $1 million. It's about me helping a community, giving people a space to come and be themselves. And literally in 2 weeks, I got 2,500 members in 2 fucking weeks. Like, I could not.
Wow.
The company, they will not fuck me over because I will tarnish them completely.
Yeah.
It would be a
That's
big business mistake if they ever did that. But I don't feel that from them.
And it's all female to male?
So I started it as the trans man dating site, but I have a lot of different types of fans, and I forget that sometimes. I do, I'll be honest with you. But I have gender queer, I have people who are fluid in their gender, who don't want to say this, who are theys, who are others, who are blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my God, you're totally right. I'm so sorry. I was focusing on the trans men. And so now they have to rewrite the whole system. I don't think people understand. They're just going to go, no, it's a system.
Yeah.
They're a worldwide company. So they have to go in and rewrite the system for me to add gender. They're going to add gender queer. For now, we're going to add gender queer and other. So I think that way people will have a situation to go in and say, no, I'm not a trans man. I am gender queer. And I'm looking for a trans man. Or I'm looking for a woman. So I have transvestite, crossdresser, all of those things on there now. The more, sort of like terms that have been in usage. Yeah.